Welcome to the Dad Bod Podcast, and here I am with part 3 of 3, the finale of my interview with the awesome Erica. I hope you guys enjoy it. Here we go.
And they'll latch on to them
Mm-hmm.
because they can go, see, these Black people agree with what I'm saying, and all these other Black people are wrong. These Black people know, because these Black people are articulate.
Yeah.
They don't say ain't. They don't say ain't, and they that blah blah blah. And they don't listen to rap music and that blah blah. And so because now her name is starting to float back around again. Because she's floating her name back around again. That's why her name is floating.
That must be sad to be that irrelevant. I mean, bless her heart.
Ooh.
Bless her heart.
See, you got to be from the South to understand that. You got to be from the South to understand the bless your heart. Because if not, you don't know. If you are, you just said, ooh, like I just did. If you're not, look, urbandictionary.com. You do yourself a favor. And if you're not from the South, start using that with your coworkers, and you're welcome. That's free of charge. You're welcome. But it's one of those are the people that their sole job is to spread hate, and they will spread hate to stay in the good graces of others who were, back in slavery. It was the people who they would sell out the fellow Black slaves from Africa so they could have the better quarters, so they could stay in the big house, so they could get the better cuts of meat with dinner, so they could be viewed favorable amongst the masters. And so nowadays that term that now turns into, so they can be invited to the balls, so to speak. They can be viewed. They can be invited to the blank national conventions to speak, instead of looking over Breonna Taylor's murder. I'm gonna let that go. So they make themselves relevant by getting on here and just speaking and just fanning the flames of hate, so they can stay relevant and have all these people go, oh my goodness, see, all this Black person agrees. So all of these people that, like you said, are spewing hate can, for the lack of a better term, can have that. I'm not racist. I have a Black friend.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically all it is. And, and that just kind of goes back to me wanting to educate myself more, is that I don't want to be that Black person. I don't I don't I have my opinions about that woman, so to speak. And, and
I love how you said woman. I love how you said woman. I love that. She was like, that's woman.
that person. And honestly, in a lot of ways, how and I don't mean to just say like you've definitely heard this before, where you're out and you see another Black person do something, and then you'll hear someone else say, or you say it, they must have forgot they were Black. They must have forgot about that one drop rule. She's the person we're talking about.
And child.
I'm not saying you can't be a Black Republican. I'm not saying you can't be Black and do this, but it's kind of
but the problem with her is 10 years ago, she was on the other side of the aisle. She's only doing this for money and attention. She doesn't mean what that's the Uncle Tom side of it.
Yeah.
She's not doing this because she believes it. She's doing this for the attention side. If you have conviction in your heart, cool. I don't have a problem with you. Then that's who you are. But then Uncle Tom is just doing this to save ass. They're not doing this because that's what they believe. They're just doing it because that's who's in charge. Because if a different person was in charge, their belief system would be different. And that's who she is.
I just don't like her. I don't. I feel like in a lot of ways, and I feel like in a lot of ways she just kind of just gives Black women a bad name too, to go along with it. Where it's kind of like, so, and this is, I don't even know how this is relevant, but this is just my thoughts and how I think about things and how I just go off. So she is in a marriage relationship, whatever. I don't follow her that much, but her partner is a white man. And I feel like she is going above and beyond to disassociate herself with Black culture and Black community. And this is coming from a Black person who likes some white chocolate. So I feel like I have the right to say that, but I never in any type of relationship or interaction felt the need to lose my Blackness or anything like that. And I feel like she's the type that is just like, I made it out of the Black community and I'm going to uphold these standards, as you're saying, because these are the people who can get me somewhere. So I'm going to do what I can to please them and say what I need to say. And if that means abandoning my people and who I am, then so be it. And I'm like, no, if I have a table, we're all sitting.
Yes. Until the next group comes along and that next group are Black people. And then all of a sudden she's going to have a dashiki on.
It's just going to take one white person to really hurt her feelings, and she's going to realize that.
And that's what it is, because that's what it is. I mean, and you are 100% right. It will change. It will, and she'll be all, and that's the problem is that whoever can get her whatever status she can get to is what she will go all in on. And anyone that has honestly done their research on her would see how fake she is. And for all these people I see that are like, oh my, I'm like, you realize you're telling more about how ignorant you are and what you choose to believe in than you are telling me about anything else. Because you're telling me that you don't have the ability to think for yourself or do research. You just want to be able to say you found a Black person to agree with you. So this makes you feel like you're right.
Yeah, it's kind of like what I do when I want to buy something I shouldn't buy. I ask the person who I know will tell me yes to justify my actions. Like, do I need these leggings? I'm not going to text mom. I'm going to text this person. They're going to say, yeah, they're cute. Buy them. I mean, it's the exact same thing. Like, there's certain situations where we look for like that one person to justify how we feel about something. And that's just life. That's just what we do. Because we're all only human. And sometimes we just need that reassurance. However, when it comes
not
to
at the expense of killing somebody
and a human life and equal rights, you shouldn't be checking if it's okay to deny someone life.
Remember, she was the one who was trying to make herself relevant and jumped on to say George Floyd deserved what he got.
She sure did. And that's when I found out who she was. I didn't even know I didn't know who she was. I'm like, who is this one Black chick and where she come from? And I was like, oh, her husband's white. Like I didn't blame him, but it's like, now I know what kind of Black person you are. And that's just,
and she jumped, when you and I've had this conversation, I've had this conversation with other people. When I have used the term Uncle Tom, I have not meant it as a fly-by-night joke. When I have used the term Uncle Tom, I have meant it with
it's a real
thing. With extreme jurisprudence, with extreme prejudice, and I've meant it for an exact reason. I've used it with Daniel Cameron, the Attorney General of the state of Kentucky, and I've used it with her, and I've used it for specific reasons. And you and I have talked about her, and I feel like if someone else is in charge, when Mitch is no longer in charge of Kentucky, Daniel Cameron will either not be in charge or suddenly he will be pro whoever else is in charge, and everyone's going to be like, how you switch up that quick? Like, you can't be that full of conviction on one side one day and switch 180 the next. Because if you are, you're not somebody that should be in charge of
fake
anything.
as can be.
Right.
It's just it's no different than sleeping your way to the top. Like, that's all it is.
An old expression I used to hear all the time, well, my grandmother said, is just because you're our skin folk don't mean you're our kinfolk.
Nah, fam. Nah.
Like
what's her name? All I'm saying to that.
So I'm gonna ask you one last question. I've kept you on here long enough. Even though you on that crazy Central Time Zone, I don't understand that, and I really don't.
Okay, first of all, y'all impatient people. It's called Central because we the middle because we run this.
But I'm saying though, like, how do you watch like Dick Clark's like New Year's Eve when they count down to midnight? Y'all just like 3, 2, 1. It's 11.
Okay, first of all, I am a grandma on the inside, and for New Year's, I have to set an alarm to like wake myself up because I'm like, y'all want me to stay up till how long again? I fell asleep before New Year's and had my alarm go off 11:55 and kept a little bottle and lunch bag with an ice pack next to my bed, so I have to get out of bed. So that's how I do it.
Can't do that. Can't do Central Time Zone. That don't make no sense.
I am too old for that. And I get really annoyed that 90 Day Fiance comes on at like 7:00. I'm like, yo, I'm cooking dinner. So I get what you're saying.
You got to get Discovery Plus.
I have Discovery Plus, and this is completely off topic, but they're in Kentucky. I got it because I got addicted to 1,000-Pound Sisters. And then I found out that they're not coming back for another season. And I'm like, so upset. Like, I love that show. Like, one, I'm not gonna lie, it was motivation because quarantine got me thicker than a Snicker. But
that show
I love that
show. That show is a train wreck.
I loved it. I loved it because it was nice to see. I'm just going to say it that typically in those shows, I would say it. It might not be what you're thinking. Is that they typically portray only Black people behaving in that manner and being that country, ghetto, ignorant, colorful, or you may call it. So it's always refreshing to be like, no, like just because someone may speak ghetto or seem on culture, that's just their culture. And this is their culture.
Colorful. My girl said colorful.
You heard that before.
You're right. But you are 100% right. You are right.
So it's just nice to see, like, look, it's not just Black people who are like this, and just because they're white and they speak differently doesn't mean that they're trailer trash. Like, they are who they are, and it's the only
problem. I watched this. I tried to watch the show. I'm not gonna say I watched the whole. The only problem is I felt like I tried. The only problem is I felt like on that show, I really felt like they just set them up to fail. Like I don't like, other than watching my 600-pound life. Is that the name?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I felt like that. I felt like that show was never set up for them to succeed. That show was set up like an aquarium. That show was set up for people to just watch.
Wrong. You're wrong. I don't care. This is your podcast. I don't care what this is. I don't care if you're the Zoom host. I don't care about nothing. Okay? You're getting the other side of Erica right here.
I touched the nerve because I'm right. That's what that is.
You were so wrong.
That show was set up for them to fail. That show was never set up for them to succeed.
Amy was successful though. Amy, she got her surgery.
How long?
She lost weight.
How long?
She got her surgery. She had her baby. I don't know. They won't bring it back for a third season.
You got the internet. Look it up.
They won't bring it back for a third season. No, because Tammy just be posting thirst traps with all her Snapchat filters. She'd be all like camera and stuff. And like Amy just posts pictures of her baby. Like, I don't need to see your baby. Let me see what's going on.
I just felt like in that thread of shows, I felt like that one was just when it started, I felt like it really was about the two of them succeeding. And then I felt like the love for that show had nothing to do with them losing weight. It had to do more with the entertainment factor of everything you just talked about. Don't kill me for saying this. Don't bless my heart. I will edit this out. Don't kill us.
And I will go on Google and be like, he edited what I had to say.
Like, she'll do a recording. I'm saying, I just felt like after that, it was TLC didn't care about them succeeding. They care more about ratings. And then it was like, I don't know. I felt then it was like I was watching. It seemed like it was more about what was going to happen next. It was not about, you can look down on me, how you look, whatever. Fine. We can agree to disagree that I'm right, whatever.
That you're wrong. Because first of all, I was very invested. I'm like, Tammy, you still didn't do right. Like, she'll be eating. I'm like, Tammy, you know you're not supposed to be eating that right now.
But like 600-pound life, there was checks and balances when somebody met, like Dr. H. He was like, little old dude was like, you can't do that. I ain't operating on, you can't do that. There was
they did
checks and
that
balance.
on 1,000-Pound Sisters too. You just didn't watch it long enough. But anyways, we're not about to do this right now. We not.
Well,
what was your last question, Corey?
Yeah, I forgot. Hold on. No, I gotta look it up because I'm like, you got me all twisted over here. Whatever. Anyway, I do love Discovery Plus because I like watching all the mystery stuff on there. Anyway. So like, if you had an honest chance, like unadulterated Erica, like,
oh Lord,
as it's like,
oh my goodness,
I'm about to hurt somebody's feelings. I don't care, but true unadulterated Erica, as far as like, and I'm a bring this in a little. Let's just talk about the running community, at large. When we talk about representation of us, when we talk about, like you said, if you're not directly African, we're forgotten about. Like, we can't even get representation in the month of February.
Yeah.
As far as the running community, what is it you would just like for people to hear from you? And I'm saying from you, not for you to, like I said, not asking for you to speak for all Black people. I mean, for you, what is it you would like for them to know?
I can't answer that question. I cannot give you an answer of what I would like for them to know, because just the needs and the desires of a person changes from day to day and period and period and period. So I can't give you an answer of what I will want them to know, because there's always a new need. There's always a new issue. There's always a new want. There's always a new desire. And I'm like trying to rack and come up with something. But yeah, unfortunately, I've got nothing for you, because life is just a progression, and we're just going to continue to progress. I got you. Edit that part out. It's been a long day, and it's just, there's never going to be a blanket statement that I can issue of what I would want someone to know. But I mean, just know that we are there. We exist. Yes, as a Black woman, yes, Black women run without worrying about their hair. I mean, I think that was probably the biggest thing was, but what about your hair? What about it? Like, looks great, right? That, we're just here. Like, we're here for the same reasons you're here. Like, I'm not doing this for fun. I want that medal and that free banana. And I hear there was really good snacks at the end of the finish line. Like, this isn't fun. I don't look forward to this sometimes, but we're just here. Just let us exist. Just let us be. Leave me alone.
Hey man. It's funny you said about the hair part is I've literally never heard anybody but someone not of color bring up the hair thing. Like, it's like, am I wrong? It's never been somebody of color, male, female, whatever. No one's ever said that. Like, it's always like, what about your hair? What's wrong with you? Like,
that's my problem.
Did you ask a white woman that question? Like, did you ask any of the 15,000 other white women that were here their question about their hair?
Yeah, that's literally happened to me at work too. And I shut it down. It was in carpool. And I know she didn't mean anything by it, but it was a child of color. And she had, the little plaits with the bows. And she goes, "Oh. So did you have your hair like this when you were younger?" And for the record, yes, I did. But that's not how I answered, because I was feeling some type of way that day. I think I was probably hungry. And so I said, not every little Black kid gets the same hairstyles growing up. And she goes, well, I'm just saying. I'm like, you didn't ask her. She's Hispanic and she had the same hairstyle growing up. Out of all the people, you chose to ask me. You want a black person. We don't all get the same hair. And then it was just silence. And I just went about the day like nothing happened. Just kept doing carpool. Doo-doo-doo.
And to me, that's a level of audacity for that person to that.
Yeah, like I said, she's great, and I know she meant something by it, and she's just like, well, I didn't mean to offend you. I said, oh no, I'm not offended. I'm just letting you know that you can't just assume that every black person gets the same experiences, because that's not how it works.
And I agree. I mean, I your answer is dead on, but the fact, like, someone saying they didn't mean to offend is not a get out of jail free card.
Yeah,
like I hate when people like, I didn't mean to offend you, and you don't
yeah.
Oh well,
that doesn't mean it's okay,
right? Like,
but it's
okay, we're good. Like,
yeah, but I'm petty, so I'm like, oh, you thought you could offend me? I'm sorry. Did you think I had feelings and that your opinion really mattered to me? That's really cute. Good for you. If you thought you offended me, I'm not going to ruin your day. Just let me be offended. Whatever.
You're like, oh, you think you're that important to me? Oh,
exactly. Like, oh,
bless your heart.
Next.
Oh my God, Erica, thank you so much, and I'm glad. For those that don't know, I have tried to get Erica on here for probably the better part of the COVID breakout. I want to say that, and then of course I got COVID because we had planned this. We had talked about this in the wintertime, and then I got it. And then there's like 3 weeks to a month, beginning of this year, that I really don't kind of remember, thanks to a fever. I was like,
I'll do it.
Yeah, I was like, finally, I was sitting around last week. I was like, I have the notes. I was like, I'm getting Erica on the podcast. I was like, I literally, after when I was trying to get this back going, I said, I'm getting Erica on here. She's the first guest outside of myself. I'm getting on here. I really want to do this. So yes. As I was like, this is happening. That's why I sent you the text. I'm like, I'm not sending a text to anyone else. However long it takes me to get you on here, you were going to be the first person I had back on my podcast. So, yes.
So, yeah, we got toward the end of that, and actually it froze. So that's as far as we got. But I do want to thank you guys for listening to these episodes. And I really want to thank Erica because she was so awesome for doing this. And like I said, I wanted to have her on for over a year, and the world sort of fell apart, and then I sort of fell apart. So it was finally nice to get her on here, and I hope you guys really, really, truly enjoyed it. Hope you guys are doing well. Do better, be better. One love. I'm out.